Hey everyone, this is Andreas again. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Tonight I've just got a short update for my latest beer that just finished bottle conditioning. It's my witbier. I'm calling it my Jaunty Fellow witbier in honor of my brother, who's quite a Jaunty Fellow. It was another kit beer that I bought, and I tweaked it by adding a couple handfuls of oranges to the secondary fermenter. So it came out all right. In fact, I'll open it. As you can see, it's got quite a bit better head than the oatmeal stout I brewed a couple weeks ago. It's got quite a wheat aroma, and you can definitely smell the sweet oranges through it. Just to go over all the fun that I had with it. It was only my second time brewing. My girlfriend was out at a party, so there was no one around really to help me in case anything went wrong, which of course it inevitably did. But the brewing itself went all right. I got the water a little too hot. I wasn't patient enough, so I let it get a little too warm before adding the grains. So that was a bummer. But the actual brewing and adding the hops and all that went pretty well. Instead of the bags to add it in and steep it like a tea bag, they were loose, which I didn't really care for actually. Just because all the hop stuff, all the little stuff just was in the pot. It made it difficult when I was pouring it into the primary fermenter to get as much of that out as I could, because it kept clogging up the funnel and the filter. But even before that step, after the brewing was done, I've got a wort chiller, and the way that I hooked it up the last time for the stout was to the hose outside, because none of the sinks in my house have the capacity for even a threaded adapter like the wort chiller calls for. So the only one that I had was the hose outside, and we would run it through the kitchen window, and that worked really well. However, this last time, it was just before Christmas. It was like December 20th or December 21st, and we had gotten a lot of snow, and I didn't think about that before getting the wort chiller in the pot to sanitize and get ready to cool, because what had actually happened was the water from the previous time had actually frozen the entire line, so I was unable to use the hose in any capacity to run water through. So what I ended up doing was disconnecting the sink, disconnecting the faucet head, and jamming the faucet head and the hose for the wort chiller together while watching the temperature and moving it around to get, as cold as fast as I could. So there was water spraying everywhere. I was cursing. It wasn't my smoothest moment, but I got it cooled down, and then pouring it into the primary was when all of the sludge from the hops and the different grains just collected in the filter and just clogged it up and made for a really, really slow pour. I think the witbier fermentation day one video, I'll link it in the description, has kind of the whole overview of all the things that went wrong. with the beer. So all that said, again, the yeast went through pretty quickly. It settled way down after about day 3 or 4. So I was kind of concerned with that. I also think I added a little too much water to the primary fermenter. I didn't take into account what would boil off. I followed the directions, and it said add enough water to make 5 gallons, and so I did. And so the gravity was really low when I put it into the primary. So I had a lot of concerns for it. But after a number of weeks fermenting and bottle conditioning, this is the result. I mean, it looks like a wit beer. It smells like a wit beer. Everything, it seems to have come out well after all of the troubles it gave me in the beginning. I don't know why, but when I smell it, originally when I opened the first bottles after like the 2-week mark, the 2-week minimum, when I opened them, the smell, the wheat smell, the aroma had just a kind of a strange aroma. I can't really even place it to this day. I don't know what it is, but I had a bottle last night, and then this bottle tonight. It smells a lot more mellow and a lot more like a wit beer, I think, should smell. So I don't know what that flavor or that aroma was, but maybe it was just me being hard on myself as my second brew. I don't know, but it smelled just strange. But it smells good, and it tastes really good too. It's pretty light, as I said. The gravity was pretty light starting, so obviously ending it was even lighter. So this beer is only around 3.3, 3.4% ABV. So yeah, it's definitely a lighter beer, but it's refreshing, and it's pretty tasty. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do next as far as brewing. I'm thinking maybe either like a porter. I'd like to try my hand at a porter, or I've seen some recipes for like a strawberry blonde ale that I think would taste pretty damn tasty. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'll try next, but I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, won't take up any more of your time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for all the welcomes on my last video, welcoming me to homebrewing. I really appreciate that. It was really nice of all of y'all. Excuse me. And so yeah, thank you. Cheers, and I will see you next week.